Tonight on ABC 10 News at 6 o'clock, an ugly turn of events inside an East County Starbucks after a customer was asked to put on a mask.
And then she proceeded to pull her mask down and said, "I'm exempt from this."
The cell phone video that captured what happened next. Plus, the struggle to get local kindergartners enrolled in school, what San Diego Unified is doing to get students signed up.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
But first, a COVID-19 vaccine is expected to be ready at some point in 2021. The process has become so politicized that California's leaders are not ready to take the federal government's word that the vaccine is safe. Good evening, I'm Kimberly Hunt, and today Governor Newsom unveiled a team of experts to make sure the vaccine is safe. ABC 10 News anchor Vanessa Van Hefty reveals the challenges they'll face when it is available.
California is one of 5 jurisdictions in the country doing advanced planning for COVID vaccine distribution. Governor Gavin Newsom announcing Monday the launching of a scientific safety review work group with top health experts to independently review FDA vaccines. One of those experts is from San Diego.
Question I often get is, are you going to take someone's word for it as it relates to vaccines? Of course, we don't take anyone's word for it. We will do our own independently reviewed process with our world-class experts that just happen to live here in the state of California. Treasure trove of experts from UCLA, UCSD, San Diego, from partners that we're able with actual experience in epidemiology from Stanford University, people from UC Berkeley.
The team will work to guarantee the safety, equity, and transparency of the distribution of vaccines, but the governor says the first batches will be very limited. Moderna and Pfizer are leading the charge that will first focus on essential healthcare workers, first responders, and then to those 65 and older. The state's still hammering out massive challenges when it comes to logistics and storage, and don't expect to go down to the local pharmacy to get the vaccine anytime soon. The governor with a sobering perspective on when it will be available.
And we don't anticipate mass availability until 2021. The question for all of us is that in the first quarter, second, or third quarter of 2021? My answer to my own question is yes, yes, and yes. It just simply depends who you talk to.
The vaccine will require 2 doses spaced weeks apart. Vanessa Van Hefty, ABC 10 News.
We've requested an interview with our local expert on the team to find out how they will know if the vaccine is safe. And now the latest on the coronavirus in San Diego County. Today, the county reported 380 new cases. That brings our total to almost 5,300. No new deaths were reported. 853 San Diegans have died from the virus. A man is dead after being shot with a bow and arrow in National City. Police say the attack happened just before 3 o'clock this afternoon near the trolley tracks at 18th and McKinley Avenue. Police are still gathering details, but it seems that 2 men got into a fight just before one of them shot the other. And an hours-long standoff has ended in Choice View. Police were called to the 3800 block of Winona Avenue off University around 8 o'clock this morning. Neighbors in the area said a man that they knew was becoming confrontational. He reportedly asked one of the neighbors if he wanted to get stabbed. And when police arrived, they tried to talk to the man, but he went inside his apartment and barricaded himself. Police left the area around 3 o'clock this afternoon. After making multiple attempts to get the man to come out, they told neighbors they'd be back if they're needed. And parents came to ABC 10 News after finding out only a few Chula Vista schools are getting a slice of a nearly $1 million grant. They ask how the schools were picked and if the process was fair. ABC 10 News reporter Melissa Masiha found out why only certain schools qualified.
$900,000. That's a lot of money tied to a grant given by the Department of Defense. It focused on kids connected to the military, and because of that, the district said it limited who could receive the money. I spoke to a couple families with kids in elementary schools on the west side of Chula Vista. One dad who didn't want to use his name found out about the grant and said it's not equal. They need to find the exact same thing that covers the West Side schools. He's referring to this. The district described the grant as a 5-year commitment to enhancing science, technology, engineering, and math programs. It went to these 5 schools, all in the Otay Ranch area. The assistant superintendent for innovation and instruction explained why.
Part of the grant application is there needed to be 10% or higher military-connected children at the school. And so we picked our top 5 military-connected schools.
The project is called Steaming into the Health Sciences. As part of it, select 4th grade military-connected students will attend a summer camp. There will be weekly after-school programs, and participating schools will also have the opportunity to attend the district's health station. It's part of a series of hands-on learning stations. Matthew Tessier emphasized the health station experience won't be limited to just these schools.
We are committed, all means all. We are making sure that every child in 4th grade in our district is getting that health station experience.
He explained it's about giving military families more support.
A lot of times we forget that they have a lot of unique needs as well, whether their parents are deployed, whether they have, one parent leading a household for multiple months.
Melissa Masiha, ABC 10 News.
According to the district, there are 12 schools that have more than 12% of their enrollment identified as military-connected students. And kindergarten enrollment is way down across the San Diego Unified School District. Our media partners at KPBS report that overall there are 2,500 fewer students taking classes, and 2/3 of those are kindergartners. The school board's vice president, Richard Barrera, says the district is now trying to find those families and get them signed up.
That's a challenge because if a student is not in our database right now because they've never, been enrolled in our district, we might not actually know who they are.
He added there are benefits to being enrolled, including being part of the district's food distribution program. Some elementary school students were the first to return for in-person learning in Ventura County. Today, students were back in the classroom at the Moore Park Unified School District. It's the first public school system in Ventura County to get a waiver approval for in-person learning. The district supervisor says they're following state guidelines and they're looking to maintain transparency.
I think it's really important that if we do have a positive case, that we not only notify the students in that class, but the entire school community.
The district said about 60 to 70% of its parents were in favor of returning to school for in-person learning. And now to a follow-up on an officer-involved shooting in Mountain View this morning. The man San Diego police officer shot has died. Earlier today, police responded to calls of vandalism at a home near South Pardee Street. And residents say the man ripped a metal curtain rod from the window and started breaking windows. Police say when officers arrived, they gave the man instructions in English and Spanish. They got no response. After that, police say the man crawled through a broken window and ran toward officers with a metal pole. That's when they fired. The man died at the hospital. The suspect and the officers involved have not yet been identified. Today is the last day to register to vote in California. Your registration must be postmarked by today. After that time, you can still vote conditionally. In-person voting begins October 31st at any one of the county's 235 polling places. Election day is November 3rd. California's Attorney General is urging social media companies to do more to stop the spread of disinformation on their platforms designed to harm the election. AG Javier Becerra sent a letter to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter today. In the letter, he calls on the social media companies to report illegal activity on their platforms and continue revising policies as new threats come up. The companies have taken steps to curb voter intimidation and election interference. As a reminder, ABC 10 News is your source for Your Voice, Your Vote election 2020 coverage. Right now, we have stories on all of the important races running 7 days a week on your favorite streaming device. To watch, just download the 10 News app to watch at any time. A tsunami warning has been downgraded to a tsunami advisory for parts of southern Alaska. This after a massive 7.5 earthquake rocked the area around 2 o'clock this afternoon. The epicenter was recorded near the Aleutian Peninsula. The National Weather Service says there are no tsunami threats for California, Washington, or Oregon. So far, no reports of any injuries or damage. California wildfire victims are getting some tax relief. The IRS is extending the tax deadline for victims of the fires that began September 4th. They now have until January 15th to file individual and business tax returns and make tax payments. The deadline was originally set for October 15th. The IRS is offering relief to any area that FEMA designates as qualifying for assistance, and that includes several counties, including San Diego.